Member for Fremantle.
Thanks, Deputy Speaker. And there's no doubt that Australians are managing cost of living pressures, including pressures from energy prices. It's hard to see how they'll be assisted by the kind of carry-on that this debate represents. They suffered through 9 years of a dishonest and incompetent government, and that incompetence was shown in their carriage of energy policy as clearly as it was shown in any area of their maladministration. Now they're suffering through 12 months of a dishonest and hopeless and frankly pointless opposition. The member for Fairfax sort of almost beat his chest and made a point of saying how they are all about small government. And I think he was being a bit modest, because what we saw from those opposite over 9 years was a lot more than small government. I mean, it could barely be described as minuscule government. It was very, very close to zero government. In some cases, I think probably even less, even close to less than zero
Member
government.
for Fairfax.
This is the lot. This is the lot that in 9 years saw 3 gigawatts of energy generation come out of the system. The people who talk about the importance of supply couldn't deliver 1 additional watt of energy generation through their time. They had 22 goes at a national energy plan. The one thing that might have made a serious contribution to putting us in a better position, they couldn't land a single one. And yet they come in here and try and point the finger at us and try to make political hay from the circumstances that are causing pain and difficulty for Australian households. People in Australia won't be fooled by that. They were taken, or they were sought to be taken as fools by those opposite for 9 years, and Australians have had a gutful of that. They've had enough of that, and they've chosen something different. And they've got a government now that is responsible and that is responsive, and that facing the energy price rise circumstances which are fuelled by the war in Ukraine and based on 9 years of hopelessness and incompetence and dishonesty, we are doing things to alleviate that pressure right now. We're doing practical things to alleviate that pressure right now, and we're doing a set of things to put Australia on a much better footing for affordable, reliable power in the future. So the Energy Price Relief Plan, which my colleagues have spoken about, started last year, continued in the budget, is capping coal and gas prices and delivering specific relief to households. And in my state of Western Australia, I mean, what would have happened in Western Australia but for the intervention of this government would have been a relatively modest increase in prices, because of course we have an enlightened gas reservation policy in Western Australia that a former state government put in place, which means that Australians actually get the benefit of the resources that belong to all of us. It's a shame that kind of foresight wasn't applied more widely. As a result, the projected price increase in Western Australia was only going to be 2.5%, which is pretty modest by Australian standards. In fact, households, as a result of our energy price relief plan, will get cost reductions to the tune of 18%, and that will make a difference to people at a time when they're doing it tough. That same impact is being shared across the country. It's something that we began introducing late last year, and we've continued with this budget, voted against by those opposite every single time. Every single time. So they come in here with stories about a business or a household, and we know that in each and every case they haven't had the courage when they've gone and spoken to that person who says, I'm under this pressure, to say, well, to the extent that the current government, after 9 years of zero, after 9 years of less than nothing, is actually taking steps to improve your circumstances, I voted against it. And they never, ever have the courage to face up to those householders or those businesses and say, we have stood in the way of some relief that you desperately need. But we're doing more than that. It's not just about relief in the present, it's about our energy system as a whole. We are investing in renewables. As the Minister said earlier today, investment is up by 55% because we know renewables are far and away the cheapest form of new energy generation. We're investing in storage, a community battery program, $20 billion for Rewiring Australia, the new Hydrogen Head Start program that was announced in the budget. All of these things are about our energy future. All of these things are about low carbon energy at the cheapest price and delivering Australia much greater control and sovereignty over our energy needs going into the future. Interestingly enough, the member for Fairfax didn't get on his nuclear hobby horse. We may yet hear from the Yellow Cake Brigade. We may yet hear from the recreational fishermeners on the coalition who want literally the slowest, most inflexible, most expensive, most dangerous form of energy. That's their one bright new idea. We didn't hear that, but maybe we will right now.